Chapter 4. I ran into my friends again and nearly made the biggest mistake of my life. The early days of 2026 slipped by in a rare kind of quiet. I didn't open the charts. I didn't scroll social media for updates. I just swam slowly around the familiar reefs, letting the cold water seep into every scale, letting my mind finally go blank. On the 30th of December, I decided to surface for a moment. Not to check the price, but to see friends and family. The little fish who once dreamed of alt-season, when altcoins outrun Bitcoin, with me and cried with me when everything collapsed in my previous life. We gathered in a bright patch near the surface, where sunlight fell in shimmering gold streaks. Laughter rang out, threaded with sighs. Gold just hit a new high, $4,500 an ounce. Silver's up to $82 as well. It's insane. Every asset is pumping, except the pile of coins we invested in. Those are bleeding. Then the whole group started whispering about silver. Eyes lit up like they'd found treasure. Silver's heading for $120 to $200, you know. I heard some major countries are controlling silver exports now. No more selling it freely. The tech race, solar panels, chips, EVs, AI, everything needs silver as an input. Silver will become genuinely scarce. If you buy now, you're still in time. My spine went cold as I listened. Why? Because something suddenly became painfully obvious. When silver sat still in the $15 to $20 range for years, nobody cared. Nobody talked about it. Nobody stocked up. Not a single little fish even mentioned silver, even when it was practically being given away. But now, after a 4 to 5 times rise, now that it's at $82, the whole ocean is buzzing again, whispering, buy. It's going to $200 next. So who spent all those years accumulating silver at $15 to $20? Who was quietly hoarding it while no one was looking? And who is selling at these sky-high prices just as the ocean starts cheering? I knew the answer. Sharks. Always sharks. Central banks, governments, investment funds. Then they all turned to me, eyes half blaming, half measuring, because I was the one who used to lure them the hardest, the one who told them about a chance to change your life, who sent chat links at 2 a.m. with, buy now or you'll miss it. I listened in silence as they talked. My closest friend, married for years, still didn't dare to have a child. My income's fine, but all my savings went into coins. Now I watch my mates taking their kids out for walks, and I can only laugh weakly. If alt season doesn't come, I'll have to wait a few more years before I dare. My cousin was hunched under mortgage interest. Rates are high. The monthly payment eats almost all my salary. I'm still holding a few alts because you said hold long term. Now they're down 5-fold. 10-fold. If I cut, I lock in a huge loss. If I hold, it feels like hugging a bomb. A colleague of mine, who listened to my stories, put her life savings into a future layer 1. Now, my mom's ill, and we need cash urgently, but my wallet is blood red. If I sell, I'm down 80%. If I don't sell, there's no money for treatment. My skin went cold. In my previous life, I was the one who pushed them into the fire. I thought I was sharing an opportunity. But really, I was dragging them down to the depths with me. So if I won, we could celebrate together. And if I lost, we could suffer together. So I wouldn't be alone in failure. I remember it clearly. Last time, when I was sick of it all and wanted to quit, to sell everything, just to wake up from the nightmare. My friends were in a terrible state too. Wallets deep red, altcoins collapsing, dreams shattered. But they were luckier than me because they didn't listen when I told them to use margin, to borrow and go all in. They lost badly, but they still had enough capital to live and a family to go back to. I, on the other hand, was wiped out, hopeless, and I even lost faith in myself. Now, looking at them, regret rose in me like a tide. I almost opened my mouth again, almost tried to pull them onto the new path I'm walking. But this time, I just sighed and said, maybe what's coming will be even harder. We need to prepare ourselves for that. After half a day of catching up, I finally returned to the deep. This time, I activated the necklace myself to go and meet the keeper of the deep. Blue light wrapped around me, then dissolved. The keeper of the deep was still there, waiting. He looked straight into my eyes and smiled.
Oh, you've got something you need answered right now, don't you? I can see it in your eyes.
I met the keeper's fathomless gaze and stopped circling around it. Sir, should I pull them onto this new road with me? I can see the route clearly now. I know winter is coming. I know how to survive. If I tell them, they'll avoid so much pain. Should I advise them? The keeper watched me for a long time, then slowly flicked his fin. In front of me appeared the image of myself in my previous life, sitting amid a mountain of debt, eyes raw and red, calling every friend, every relative to borrow money to save my wallet. No one picked up anymore.
This is your next lesson, and the harshest one, if you want to live a long time. Lesson 7. Never, ever call on friends or family to invest with you.
I opened my mouth to protest, but he cut me off.
You think you're saving them? No, you're just dragging them onto a boat you're not even sure you can steer yourself. Investing is a game where fewer than 5 wise ones survive out of 100 who enter. You're not one of those 5 yet, little fish. You've only just learned how not to die immediately. And you already want to drag people even greener than you into this blood-red sea, hoping you'll win together? Think. Your current jobs, yours and theirs, engineers, doctors, teachers, office workers, how many years of study, training, trial, and error did it take before you had the skill to make a living from them? 5 years, 10, sometimes a lifetime. And you think the financial market, where sharks have been swimming for centuries, is as simple as buy and wait for profit? You're not helping them, you're harming them, and you'll harm yourself even more.
He looked at me, voice heavy, like an unappealable verdict.
First, friends and family are the only ones willing to reach out and save you when you're about to sink. In this game, there will be a day you slip. You'll need a hand to pull you up. If you drag them onto the same boat and you all go under, who's left to save you? Second, if you're lucky and you win, a good relationship can only become better. That's it. If you lose, that relationship can go from good to bad, sometimes to hatred. You'll lose friends, lose family, lose your last support in life. That isn't help. That's cutting your own lifeline with your own hands. Third, once you pull friends in, you'll be calling them to buy the very coins you're already holding, won't you? Do you remember the lesson about the current between cash and assets? That's when sharks are scooping up cheap inventory from little fish. If you drag more people in to buy with you, you slow down their accumulation. You're blocking the sharks from collecting the amount they want. Worse, If they can't collect enough because too many little fish jump in and cling on with you, the next story won't get drawn. Those tokens will be abandoned, erased, left to die in the mud at the bottom. You're not fighting sharks. You're fighting the very people on your side, the ones you dragged in, seeing who will be the last to let go so the sharks can finally finish collecting. You turned friends and family into your own rivals. Is that what you want? Fourth, when you call them in, you place yourself in the role of guide. You won't dare to cut losses. You won't dare to admit you were wrong because you'll be afraid of losing face, afraid of hearing, "But you said." You'll hold losing positions longer, justify more, go all in harder to win it back for the lads. And in the end, you'll die worse than if it were just you, not only losing money, but losing your self-respect and your most precious relationships. Fifth, sharks never do this. They accumulate in silence. They sell in silence. They win in silence. And they never share an opportunity with little fish, because little fish are their cheap supply. Want to survive long term? Learn this from them. Share knowledge, yes. Warn about risk, yes. Tell stories so people can reflect, yes. But never say, "Come in with me, this time we'll definitely win." Because when the market crashes, the first person you'll blame is yourself. And the first people to blame you will be the ones you called in. Even if they don't blame you, you'll blame yourself. That burden is too heavy for any little fish to carry, including you. I went still. The images of my friends today flashed up painfully clear. I saw how close I was to repeating the old mistake. Now you understand. Today feels like a heavy day for you. So the next lesson will come tomorrow. Really remember today's lesson.
The whale dipped his head gently. The blue light softened. I was released back into reality. This time, I no longer wanted to save anyone the old way. I only wanted to share what I'd learned, not by calling "follow me," but through stories, lessons, and gentle warnings. I would tell them about the currents, about the sharks, about how this market actually works. But I would never say, "Do what I do." Instead, I only said softly, "Slow down a little, observe more, daydream less, learn more, choose your own path, whether you swim with this current or stay on shore, because only a path you choose for yourself truly belongs to you." I smiled in the dark. I was no longer responsible for dragging anyone along. I was only responsible for myself. Survive, learn, and share, while letting people decide for themselves. I closed my eyes gently. Every voice from my friends, every accusing look, every surge of regret, I let it dissolve into the water, drifting away like sea foam. I didn't hold on to it anymore. I focused only on the lessons etched into my gills, my fins, my every breath. The current between cash and assets, true scarcity and long-term conviction. Swimming behind the sharks, but from a distance. Risk management, never going all in. And the newest one, never dragging anyone down to the bottom with me. I opened my eyes and watched the December 2025 current still turning. Bitcoin would gradually return to the 100K mark in the first days of the new year. Then a bigger question snapped into my mind, clear and cold. Before, Bitcoin was always the leader. It rises, the whole market rises. It falls, the whole market follows. It's the shark's main steering tool. If Bitcoin enters a real downtrend, like the one I saw in my previous life, then doesn't the whole market collapse with it? Altseason will die completely, and everything will sink into winter forever. I paused, remembering the first lesson. When the whole ocean believes the same beautiful story or fears the same nightmare, that story is about to be reversed. If every little fish believes Bitcoin downtrend equals the whole market dies, is there another scenario? A scenario where Bitcoin drops, accumulates, rests, but the market still climbs, still has a new powerful growth cycle? A faint light flickered. Maybe another token, similar to Bitcoin, could take over the leadership while Bitcoin rests. A token the sharks have been accumulating for a long time when no one noticed. A token with enough scarcity, a fresh enough narrative, and a growing conviction to become a second Bitcoin in the eyes of little fish and pull the whole market up while Bitcoin lies quietly on the seabed. I wondered, my heart beating one notch faster. If so, what token is it? The token the sharks have accumulated discreetly, enough of what they need, and are simply waiting for the day the ocean loses faith in Bitcoin to release a new story? The question hung in the dark. I knew the answer would come, not today, but exactly when the ocean has forgotten it even exists. If you're asking the same question, if Bitcoin is in a downtrend, which coin will lead the next market? And you don't want to be that little fish again, selling cheap at the bottom and buying expensive at the top. Do these 3 things right now. Like the video, so the algorithm pushes this question to more people before the real winter arrives. Share it with at least one friend who's still holding old alts, or about to FOMO into BTC at these levels. Subscribe, plus turn on notifications, because the next chapter will reveal the exact answer to the biggest question of this cycle, along with the next lesson from the Keeper of the Deep. This is not investment advice. It's an invitation to see through the game, together with a little fish, before the next hand begins. And me, I'll dive deep and wait. See you in the next chapter, where everything will be clearer than ever.